Good afternoon. It is 5:20. You are watching and listening to Talk TV live from the Talk Radio studio. Now, 4 London cabbies are rowing 3,200 miles. I mean, it actually gives me hemorrhoids thinking about it. Across the Atlantic to raise money for charity. They hope to raise tens of thousands for the taxi charity for military veterans, a stroke association, and a Tanzanian orphanage. The team known as Cabbies Do Atlantic Row will begin their row from Lanzarote. They should just stay there, it seems to me, and drink, to Antigua next year after spending 2022 learning how to row. Now, joining us now are 2 of the London cab drivers taking part. We've had them on before as I think they climbed Kilimanjaro. We've got Darren Parr and John Delaney. Now, Darren and John, I love the idea of you learning to row. I'm going to start with you, Darren. How nervous are you about this? And tell me, what sort of advice has your wife given you, telling you that this is a very bad idea?
Nervous, Rob. Absolutely. In some ways, I'm whooping it. I mean, we really are launching ourselves into the unknown. We have not got a clue what we're going to do. We ain't. I'll tell you how we are. For the last time we were on a boat, Greenwich Park. And I got a rolling in because I couldn't get a boat back to the geyser in time. That's how bad we are. I mean, we are as green as green.
I just got to pause you there, Darren, because you have made my afternoon. The 2 of you and a few others are going to row across the Atlantic at 10-metre high waves, rowing 8 hours a day. I mean, fit people have tried to do this and failed. And you were pulled in at a local reservoir the other week. Is that what happened?
Well, it was probably a few years ago now, Rob, to be honest with you. And it's 2 hours on, 2 hours off, 24 hours a day.
I absolutely love this challenge. I tell you what, I'm going to be putting my weight and support behind it. We're going to be following you during your journey. John, tell us, have you rowed before? I mean, what did you do to learn how to row across the Atlantic? Is it squats, press-ups? Are you going to be taking advice from a well-known rower?
Well, I'm like Darren. I'm completely green when it comes to all this. But lucky enough, we've got a bit of help. Our friends at Fulham Rowing Club have offered to train us.
Oh, that's good.
So we're going down there shortly to at least learn how to row, so to hold an oar and to get our strokes right. So, but once again, that's going to be totally different to going out on the ocean because, as you say, 10-metre waves up and down, and your body's going to be 2 hours on, 2 hours off for up to 2 months. 24 hours a day.
Yeah, just help me with that, Darren. I mean, I know that Ben, what's his face, across the ocean, said it was one of the hardest things he'd ever done. I'm sure Timothy will help me with his name in due course. But never mind. No, he's busy doing something else. Darren, just help me for a second. I mean, what do you expect this is going to be like? You're actually crossing the Atlantic Ocean. Ben Fogle tried to do it. Thank you, Timothy. And I remember him talking about it. He had blisters. They had to have a machine that changed rainwater and seawater into drinking water. By the end of it, him sitting behind James Cracknell looking at his bottom for 2 months. The 2 of them were ready to kill each other. I mean, you know, it's 2 men in a boat or 3 in a tub. What do you expect? What do you expect this is going to be like, Darren Parr?
Well, to be honest with you, it's going to be as much as a mental challenge as it is a physical challenge. We're going to be out there unsupported, which means it would take up to 5 days for us to get any help if something has gone wrong. But I believe in the human body, Rob. To be honest with you,
I believe in it too. I've seen it.
Well, I think on this road we're going to be seeing a lot more of each other than we've seen before. To be quite honest with you, apparently most Atlantic roads end up with everyone getting naked. That ain't what I've got to. If it's more comfortable, I'll be naked. I'm all up for just comfort, man. You know.
Well, who knows? Listen, if the row fails, you can make it into a calendar. John Delaney, just tell us, what are you most nervous about this trip?
Just the open ocean itself. I'm terrified of the open ocean. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm terrified of it because I've been on when I was young, we sailed to Australia on an immigrant ship.
Right.
And I'll never forget it. I remember being out in the vast Pacific and the Atlantic and being terrified. So this has always been something that's interested me, like the power of the sea. So I'm about to find out close hand.
Get the power of the sea by going down the pier in Brighton. What do you need to do this for us? It's bonkers.
Well, there is a lot
in the
more
middle of
to
nowhere.
Right, go on.
There is a lot more to it, really. I mean, hopefully we're also, I mean, the trip came about through one of our friends who sadly had a stroke.
Okay.
So we're hoping to raise stroke awareness for people. And it is preventable, which is the best way to prevent it and not get it. And the other thing is, obviously, London Taxi Charity for Military Veterans, very close to our heart.
Right.
We can raise some money from them in the process and give a little bit back to the ladies and gents that gave so much to us.
Quite so, and I couldn't have put it any better. As is often the case, as you know, my dad drove a taxi for 4 decades, and between him and my